The Latin America market for video streaming over the top is set to keep growing at least until 2018. Frost & Sullivan just released a survey showing revenues with video OTT service will reach $783 million by 2018. To further discuss the findings of this research, I talked with Mayara Munoz. She's industry analyst for Latin America at Frost & Sullivan. Thank you for being here, Mayara.
Hi, Roberta. Thank you for the opportunity.
So let's start talking about the heads up. Could you give me some heads up about what Frost & Sullivan found in this survey regarding this video OTT market for Latin America?
Okay, so we conducted an end user survey with Latin American users for either, they were either OTT users or pay TV users or both. So we conducted a survey with 83 users to understand a bit more about how they were dealing with this new trend. So what we found, and this is how we estimated these numbers you were just talking about, is that about 9.6% of all the sample analyzed, they were already canceling their pay TV to in acquiring an OTT service instead. And around 10% of the sample was they had canceled a couple of channels from pay TV services, such as movie channel or some other types of channels, to acquire and complement it with an OTT service. So this, with this results, we were able to estimate the impact on the real Latin American market.
And this, so do you think this will push this growth? Because it's kind of a huge growth, right? I guess the numbers will show that in 2013, it was the revenues with video OTT was $96 million, and it will jump to $783 million. So it's a huge growth, right?
Yes, yes. So we expect this with the growing demand for access to online videos from any type of device and whenever the users would like to do it. So this will drive the demand, and also the lower prices offered by these OTT providers. So if you compare these prices with the prices you have to pay for pay TV services, they are very much lower, and also these OTT providers, they have been increasingly offering exclusive content. So Netflix, for instance, has some TV series such as House of Cards that are very famous. People really like it, and it's exclusive from them. So we believe that these two factors are the one that will drive this demand the most. So the growing demand for access to content in any type of device and any time you want, and the prices.
I got it. And did you find some highlights about the impact of this growing OTT to carriers, because they still are using their network to provide those services? And in Brazil in particular, we have all the net neutrality discussions right now.
Yes. So we, as I was telling you, through this end user survey, we were able to have an idea of the impact. However, for the same reason that the prices for OTT services are lower, the impact in terms of revenues, it's really not, it's less than 1% in 2018, as we predicted. So this is, in one hand, we do believe people will increasingly start to adopt these services, but on the other hand, the impact in revenues is going to be really small. And also, what we see right now, I mean, the biggest trend is not that users will cancel their pay TV services, but that they will complement it with OTT services. And pay TV providers, they are also starting to create some strategies not to lose any share in this market. So they're starting increasingly to offer some services such as video on demand, multiplay services, anything on their portfolio that can differentiate their services. So for that reason, what we believe in the midterm and long term is that there will be that users will complement pay TV with OTT. Okay, so they will have some channels, some certain channels in the pay TV services, or use the video on demand from the pay TV provider, and also have an OTT service from Netflix, for instance, because it's really cheap.
I see. But what about the impact in the network infrastructure of carriers? Because they still will need, and even more, the growing demand of data. So carriers will have to keep investing on providing good broadband internet access, so they can watch this OTT video streaming. And I guess customers they are becoming more and more demanding about the quality and not dropping and all of it.
Yes. On this matter, I do believe that the carriers will need to increasingly make investments in the infrastructure so they can leverage these new types of services that they are offering, to be able to not only keep their client base today, but also acquire new customers.
I see. And what about regarding the whole Latin America region? Did you find some countries that are more advanced in OTT video adoption than others? I believe Brazil, for instance, because we are the biggest,
Yeah.
maybe we can have more users, but is there any country that the penetration is higher, for example?
Yeah, what we found really was a greater adoption in Brazil, and it is where most of the users are, like you said. So we didn't really see a specific trend from another country either than Brazil that is adopting faster. I do believe that, I mean, we interviewed countries such as Argentina, Colombia, and Brazil, and Mexico. But we do believe that the trend is pretty much the same in all countries. I didn't see any specific trend in other countries than Brazil.
And would you say that we are just in early stage of adoption?
Yes, I believe we are in an early stage, like I mentioned. I think a lot of users are still learning about these new technologies and starting to adopt it slowly. But as I told you, this great impact that we expect until 2018, it will be driven by the growing demand for access from all types of devices. And so it's just a trend, and it's just a matter of time until more users get used to it or learn about it and learn about its benefits.
So thank you, Mayara Muñoz, for sharing the findings of this last Frost & Sullivan survey with RCR Wireless News subscribers.
Thank you, Roberta.
Check out all Latin America stories@rclwireless.com.